get all the ignition lights on, and then hold the brake and press it again. Low battery charge. Let's try it. Fingers crossed. Christ, please start. Hello and welcome back to Serious About Salvage, and what is a very, very important day. We're going to find out today whether this RS5 runs. If it doesn't, you're probably going to see a grown man cry. If it runs, you might even see a dance. I don't know. Yeah, if you'd have seen the earlier video, we've gone as far as we can with this without pretty much just taking the plunge and just turning that key, or in this case pressing it, and just see what happens. I've tried to turn it over by hand and it does, the crank will move a bit, so I don't think it's seized. But there were like we saw in the last video, there was no engine oil in it, or very little, because of the damage to the oil cooler. I'm just hoping that over time that's where it's all leaked out of, because I can't find any other damage. So yeah, there's a few bits we need to do before we can give it a go, but I'll go through them quickly now. And as always, if you like these videos, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Big thumbs up, put your comments in the bottom and I'll do my best to get to them. So I'm going to spin you around, we'll remind ourselves what we need to do before we turn this key, and then we're just going to have to go for it. It's just going to have to happen. Right then, so yeah, today is the day, this video is the video. We're hopefully going to hear this 4.2 V8 singing. Not singing, obviously I'm not going to rev it much, but you know what I mean. I want to hear it run before I buy any more parts for it. So, as I mentioned in the earlier video, I managed to source this intercooler and pipe for a steal. 150 quid, nipped to Leeds for it. Cheapest by far. Like I was saying, there's one on eBay, there was, for £450 just for the actual intercooler, not the pipe. I rang Audi, and for the pipe and intercooler, just over 1200 quid. So yes, you can see why they wrote this car off. So what we're going to do, we're going to get this plumbed in. That'll take care of these two pipes. Hopefully, no, there's no leaks on them. That'll take care of these two pipes. We then need to refit the water pump, because the housing runs off some in there that will leak oil. I don't know what it is. This is cool and that's fine. We then also need to connect together the two pipes to the gearbox, because the radiator has a built-in gearbox cooler and I don't want to be spirting gearbox oil out. And we must also remember we've got tailpipes jammed full of dirt in there. So we'll get that out as well before we give it a try. And I've got the charger on, charging the battery, so hopefully it'll have enough power to start itself without messing with jump leads or power packs or anything when we get to that point in the day. So I'm just going to have to put you on a stand and work through these few little jobs. Shouldn't take long. And start praying now. Just start praying. Christ, I hope this runs. I hope this runs. Beautiful engine though, isn't it? It's a big lump. Right. Yeah, let's get cracking. Let's just find out. Fingers crossed. Well, we're edging closer and closer. I've had to just jerry fix that oil cooler on with some zip ties, just so it doesn't hang on its own pipes, don't put any strain or stress on them. But it's on, it's all connected up. Yeah, the water pump's back in place, so we can't lose any oil out of there. And I've also connected up the gearbox cooler pipes. Now I have to just keep an eye on these because they're not the best of connections. But yeah, I have to watch that. So it's time to put some oil in it. Now, like I said, it's quoted at 9.7 litres this. But is that out? Can you, during an oil change, for instance, can you get every oil out of these because of the oil cooler? Is the 9.7 quoted as a dry engine from nothing, or 9.7 quoted as an actual oil service on a wet engine? I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to it. So the fact we've got no dipstick either basically means we're doing this blind, aren't we? So the first thing we're going to do is put some in and watch for it coming out the other end, because obviously I've had a good look everywhere, can't find any oil coming out. I'll put a litre in or something, or two, and then I'm going to let that settle a little bit, I think. Just make sure it's not coming out of anywhere else. What we're down to there now? What we got in there? So yeah, there's 2 litres in there now. So I think it's just give it 5 minutes, I think. Get it right down to the bottom. Make sure it's not coming out anywhere. I will continue to fill it up. I don't know how much to put in. I'm scared of putting too little in, I'm scared of putting too much in. I think the only thing to do now is I'll get the oil in, make sure it's not literally pouring out anywhere, and then we'll come back for the big reveal and see if the engine will start. And I tell you, I'm like that. Like I said, hopefully this battery has it's taking plenty of charge, so hopefully we get enough in there. I need to do this dirt, don't I? I've got indigestion because I've just had my dinner, so I do apologise. Let's get something. Let's scoop some of this dirt out. So it's got to come out. Over here. It's packed in there, isn't it? Bit of grass, bit of dirt. There's the exhaust pipe. There's 2 of them. I don't know how much more. I don't really want to go around the tips because I don't want to scratch them. You know, this is a chisel at the end of the day. So the pipe's clear there. So look at this one. Yeah, the pipes are clear on that one. It's caked in there, isn't it? Yeah, that's going to do for now. I need some light on the situation and get some plastic to get the rest of that out. There's no point causing any more damage. So yeah, I'll continue, get oil in it, make sure we're not leaking, and when it's the time to try it, we'll come back and do it on camera. Okay. So it is now the next day. I decided to give the battery a charge all night because it was completely flat. So I've had it on the charger over there all night. The battery is now full because, you know, these 4.8s, not 4.8, 4.2 V8s, they're going to take some cranking, they're going to need some battery power. So I didn't want it to be struggling with battery life. for the sake of leaving it overnight. So now is the time. I've even pulled it forwards so we can get in and out of it easier. Now is the time to see if this car will run. And yeah, I'm massively nervous. So let's just do it. I've done all I can do. I had a piece of card under it all night and it's not leaked. So we've got all the oil. Also, before I do try and start it, I've noticed they do have the metal tube ready in place for the dipstick, but they just don't have a dipstick. That's just a cap. So I know you can get dipsticks for them. I'm going to get a dipstick and you'll have a dipstick for the next person. Anyway, right, let's just do this. Let's just do it. Oh, so we got power. Oh. So I've noticed these don't have a start button. No start button. So I'm guessing you just put the button, the key in. Get all the ignition lights on. And then hold the brake and press it again. Low battery charge. Let's try it. Fingers crossed. Christ, please start. It's a bit anticlimactic, wasn't it? Not trying. I can hear the relay clicking. Interesting. Wonder if the fuse to the starter's blown, because it's not even trying to turn the starter. See, this is all your junction box, and I had noticed, that one there is it's blown, but that's for your fan, and that would have blown in the crash. Now I'm pretty sure this front one here is your starter, and it's not fused, so it has to be fused somewhere, and the fact I can hear clicking makes me think the relay's clicking in, and then obviously there must be it must be a fuse somewhere stopping power to the starter. Interesting. I'm going to have a look, and I'll have to do a bit of investigation, shall we say. See if I can find any blown fuses. So, yeah, I'll have to come back to you shortly. That was very anticlimactic. Yeah, alright, I'll come back to you. I'll have a good look around, try and find some fuses. And if I find out, or when I find anything, I'll come back to you and let you know what's going on. Right, I suppose it's time to update you on what happened yesterday after that little attempt to start it. So I spent the whole day yesterday trying to figure out why it wouldn't attempt to start. I went through all fuses. There's a pile under there and relays. There's fuses in this end of the dashboard. There's also fuses in the passenger side of the dashboard. There's also fuses in that pocket on the in the boot. Found a few blown and attempted to start it again. I was getting a little bit of reaction from the starter, and on one occasion I actually got it to make a complete cycle of the engine, and it did fire. It fired for a split second and died. So started, and then so I tried it a few more times, and eventually the starter just stopped doing anything again and clicking on the relay. So I checked all the fuses again, no issues with any fuses. So I had to. Well, I scanned it then, actually, to be fair, and it started saying, I don't know if I did I leave scanner on? I bet I did, but that's dead now. It started saying starter motor jammed, mechanical / electrical fault. which is a bit of not really telling me either or, is it? So the plan, well, the mission then was to try to get to this starter motor. And if you're familiar with this engine, that's not an easy task. I'll probably be able to shed a bit of light on it and show you where it is. If you look right down that gap, you can just see the end of the starter motor. So yeah, there you can just see the end of it, that round bit of silver, that's the end of the starter motor. And the connections are right back there. Not sure what you can see right now. So I gave it a good whack, good tap, made sure it wasn't jammed. Nope, still not doing anything. And in order to get that access, I had to take the alternator out. That's the water oil exchange, cooler should I say. Yeah, they're a nightmare to work on these cars, an absolute nightmare. So that then took me down the route of what do you need to do to change the starter motor on these. And you will not believe it, you've got to take the gearbox out. To change your starter motor, you've got to take the gearbox out. Absolute buffoons Audi are. Surely a starter motor is going to fail at some point. You would expect. So yeah, let's put it in a place where we can't get it out without taking the gearbox out. Oh my lord, what a set of idiots. So I'm basically at that point now where I don't know what to do. So a starter motor is 150 quid. I'm not bored about that cost. It's going to be a mission to get this gearbox out. We will have a look under it in a second. Now the other issue is, as you can see, I've removed all the plugs. Now, I haven't got the tool for turning over these by hand. So what I did, I had a look underneath to see if there was any access to the flywheel. To get a bar on that. And there is access, but not actually to the flywheel itself. You can just about get on a bolt head that's holding something together on the flywheel. I don't know what it is. And you can buy that bolt head against the actual casting, the bell housing casting. And the engine, I can make the engine go forward and backwards to about 1 inch, but it is really tight. But I don't know what to expect. I wouldn't expect it to be so tight. So I'm on I don't know whether, obviously the crash has happened, it's lost all its oil, it's gone to salvage yard, they've attempted to start it with no oil in, done damage to bearings, and now the engine's tight. So then when I got power to it and I'm trying to use the starter to start it, the starter's struggling because the engine's tight, and then eventually the starter's died. But like I said, it did fire for a split second. So I really don't know what to do. There's part of me saying put it back together and send it off to auction, let someone else deal with it. There's part of me saying I need to know if this engine's okay, and the only way is to put a new starter on, because the starter might have already been knackered or on its way out, and it's just finished it off, and it might just need, to run a second just to lubricate everything up and to free the engine up again. Might be perfectly fine. And I'll be gutted if I wouldn't find out, but I'll never know. And that's probably worse than finding out that it's knackered. So I'm edging on the side of pulling the gearbox at the moment. But it's going to be a mission. We'll put it up and we'll have a look underneath. Okay, as you can see, I left the unit in a bit of a huff last night. Couldn't be bothered tidying up. So this is the underside. Now as you can see, I've dropped the steering rack because I wanted a bit of access to get a bit more of a chance to look at the starter. And as you can see, it's up there. That's the starter motor. And there's no way it'll come down this hole. You know, and the problem is, although you can see one fixing at the bottom of it, the other fixing is on the top, and it's from the other side, it's from the gearbox side. So there's just no way you can undo it from here or even get it out. So, yeah, the gearbox, I presume it's fastened to the gearbox, isn't it? Yeah. So you pull your gearbox back and it brings the starter with it. But you know, this is a big gear, it goes right back to here. Gearbox goes to here. It's a big gearbox, you know? So that's not going to be an easy job, is it? So, where's the inspection hole now? There it is. So there's the inspection hole that I found, the flywheel. And as you can see, that bolt head. Just get a crowbar, see if I can do it. I hope you can you see the actual, let's see if I can get a better place. I'm not sure. Oh, you can just about see there. See, it does move, but it's bloody hard. Oh, fucker. Let me swap it round. I don't know, it feels tight, that, to me. I think it's done. I think it's done. I suppose we could pull the whole lot and rebuild the engine. But I think it's done. I think it's had it. So yeah, basically that's the end of this video because I need to make a decision. I need to make a decision what I want to do with this car now. You just see, you don't get lucky with them all, I tell you. And I took a risk on this because it wasn't running. I'd have been happier if it just said unable to test. But on the actual listen, it did say cannot start, so I'm going to presume from that they did try it, and I think they've done it, they've knackered, they've killed it. If they've been trying to turn it over with no oil in, because they have no dipstick, they wouldn't have checked if there was any oil. And like I said in the previous video, I was hoping that they'd have seen the damage and the oil leaking and not tried it, but it might not even have been the Salvage yard, it might have been the person who crashed it. He might have left it running. Oh, we don't know, we just don't know. But to me, I don't think that engine should be anywhere near as tight as that. But what I'll do is, if I make any rash decisions, I'll get someone up here who knows a bit more than I do and see what they think about it, and go from there. And like I said, worst case, if we spend another day dropping gearbox, put £160 starter in there and then try it. If it's still not attempting to start, then yeah, perhaps it is dead. It's just so weird that it did try to fire. It fired once, but I just couldn't get it to turn over fast enough to actually, you know, bite and run. And I just presumed at the time it was just from lack of power. Oh well, anyway, yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. So annoying. I was so excited about this car, and it's quickly, I'm very quickly losing faith. So yes, I will be back with an update sometime soon. But for now, we're going to have to leave it there. I've got other things to do. I've got to get the Q3 put together. I've got the Jeep outside I need to put together. I need to deal with the Mini. There's a lot going on. I've won another car. It's not here yet. So I just can't. I ploughed 2 complete days into this now and got absolutely nowhere. So I need to move off it for a bit. I'll come back to it when we've decided, and I'll keep you up to date. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.